Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chapter 3, Part 1 of SAP Configuration. In this chapter, we're going to focus, or we're going to be working on management account configuration. So go ahead and open up your walkthrough over here. And in this chapter, there are some errors. So I have an error log over here of common errors that people have encountered. In addition, we also have this appendix A that we will have to be filling out. And this is what it looks like, and we'll get to that in a bit. Just make sure you have that ready for when we need it. All right, so so as we can see here, we're going to start with the enterprise structure. We're going to go with the rules and parameters, master data, and testing, and last but not least, exercise deliverables. So let's start with the enterprise structure. We're going to start creating standard hierarchies. So in the SAP as Easy Access menu, we're going to be following this file path here. And now something that they didn't do in this folder specifically, they didn't give you the whole file path to get to the image referencing, which is what this SAP customization implementation guide means. So again, for that, all you'd have to do is type uh, SPRO and then click image referencing. And then see up here how it says implementation guide. So whenever you see SAP customization implementation guide, it's just talking about, typing in SPRO and then clicking on the image reference and then getting here to the implementation guide. So now that we are here, let's go ahead and follow that file path, controlling, general controlling, organization, maintain controlling area right here. And if it's asking for the T code, remember it's going to be additional information, display key, and image activity. So let's just expand a little bit. And remember, your T code is going to be the last four. So there's your T code for the first question. So let's go ahead and open this up. And remember, we can either hit that little clock or we can hit right click and edit activity. Both things do the same thing. I'm just going to hit that little clock. So it is important to make sure that uh, we pay attention to this in the said menu as we have been doing. So in this case, in the select activity menu, here we are. Double click on the maintain controlling area, which is here. So we're going to double click maintain controlling area. So now we are in the change basic data overview. Highlight your NA. So I am NA26, and you will highlight whichever company you are. So right here, I'm NA26. So we're going to highlight NA26, and now we're going to click detail, just this little magnifying glass here. All right, so now in the change view basic data detail screen, enter the following information. So for C hierarchy, here we go. The the um the one with the red asterisk. So go ahead. So we can either type in our NA or we can search for it. I'm just going to type for it. I am NA26. All right, so there's going to be no search options because we're creating it, I believe. So we do have to type in our NA and number. And after we're done with that, it says press enter. So we're going to hit enter. And we're going to get this in the check standard hierarchy pop-up screen. We're going to click yes. And now we're going to be in the change view basic data detail screen. active component slash indicators folder. Uh, so once we get to this screen, we're going to double click the active components slash indicators folder so we can see that our information is right here. So that's going to be this folder right here, active components slash indicators. We're going to double click to open it. And it says in the check standard hierarchy, click yes. Okay, in the change view component slash control indicator screen, enter the following information. So we want to make sure that our cost center component is active, which is going to be this first one right here that's already highlighted for us. You can click on that drop down and click component active. All right, and then once we have done that, we're going to go ahead and click save. And it says that we might get this. So yeah, in the document lines, pop a message, we're simply going to click enter or click this green check mark. Both do the same thing. And I didn't see that save, so I'm going to go ahead and click save again. Oh, so we can see right here it says data was already saved. So my pop-up menu was blocking the save data screen. That's why it disappeared here. But we're all good to go, so we're going to be moving forward. All right. So now that we set up the enterprise structure, we're just going to open up a new GUI, close this one. So now that we have, or you can just hit back to get to this main menu. So now that we have set up the enterprise structure, we're going to move on forward to the rules and parameters. All right, so we are starting off with maintain number ranges for controlling. All right, so in remember the SAP customization implementation guide is where we have to type SPRO and then the reference image, SAP reference image. And then we can see again here the implementation guide up top. So now that we are here, let's follow the file path. We have controlling, general controlling, organization, and main uh, maintain number ranges for controlling documents right here. All right, and I'll let you guys find that transaction code. Remember, additional information, display key, image activity, and then you can see your T code there. So we're going to go ahead and enter in by hitting the little clock. And just to make sure on the right menu, in the edit interval, CO, objective, yep, correct. Enter the following information. So for CO, for the controlling area, we are going to type in NA00. Now keep in mind, the only time that we put our own information in is when we see the pound sign or a hashtag. And since it doesn't have it here, we're going to actually put NA00, which is what we did. Because from there, we're going to be copying, which is this little double page right here. So select copy sub-object. And now in the COA pop-up, enter the following. So from NA00, we're going to put RGBI. And again, we are NA26. You're going to go ahead and input your number there. And then once you have done so, you're going to hit copy, which is a green check mark, or you can hit enter. And now it says in the number range intervals pop up, we're going to click the green check mark or hit enter. And then we're going to receive a message that says, to write down here, CONA00 is copied to NA26. Perfect. Which means that step was complete. All right. Moving on to the next step, just going to open up a new menu, closing this old one out. And let's get back to the implementation guide. And following this new file path we need to view internal order number ranges. So let's follow this file path. So controlling internal orders, hold master data, and maintain number ranges for orders. All right, it's not asking for a T code right now, but if we open this up in the range, order main display, what are the intervals here? Oh, okay. These two aren't matching up. Let me go back. Because it does say maintain number ranges for orders. But these two aren't matching up over here. The glasses here for intervals. Well, I guess this is a screen we're supposed to be in. And then from this, we can answer what is the from number for the first interval, which would be number ranges from. So this is the first interval, I take it, to number, which is going to be this one. That's going to be your answer for these two. And I guess we're just viewing. So we're not actually making any changes to this menu. All right, moving on. Just going to open a new GUI, closing out the old one. And again, so now we're going to maintain number ranges for settlement documents. And let's get to the implementation guide, S-Pro, SAP reference image, and implementation guide. Here we are. All right, following the file path again, controlling internal orders, actual postings, settlement down here, and maintain number ranges for settled documents down here, almost the last one. So the T code, additional information, display, image activity. There we go. There's our T code, the last four. And we're going to enter into this menu. So double check to make sure we're in the right correct menu. In the edit interval, CO settlement screen. Okay, this one is matching up. Click on change groups. So here's groups, and oh, here we go, the little pencil, change groups. So we're going to click on change groups. And now it's saying in the change group CO settlement object CO screen, click on your controlling area under the non-assigned elements. So here we can see non-assigned elements. So everything here is non-assigned. So we're going to find our controlling area, which again, we are to 6. So we're going to click it here. And this is where, let's see. So now that we selected it, we can tell it's selected because we have the brackets around our controlling area. It'll be outlined in blue brackets when selected. Well, they're black. We're going to click assign group to element. Is it one of these guys? Change group, create group. Oh, here we go. Up top. So, or F7. So once we selected our controlling area, click assign element group. All right, I'm gonna click on it. And then click group without text. All right, here's group without text. You can tell it's highlighted because it has the brackets around it. And then hit copy. So I take it that's this green check mark down here. Yes. All right, so we're going to click copy. And now it says your controlling NA should now appear under group without text. So if we simply scroll down, there we go, until we get to the group without text. We can see that here we are, NA26. Okay, and after After it appears there, we can click save. If we see our controlling area there, click and save, and changes have been saved. All right, another step down. So moving on to the next step, we're just going to open a new graphic interface, close out the old one. And now we are going to maintain allocation structure. So let's follow this file path again, SPRO, because we got to get to the implementation guide. All right, so let's follow this file path, controlling internal orders, actual postings. Here we are. Settlement and maintain allocation structures. So we're going to hit that clock since it's not asking for T code. Okay, so now it says in the change view allocation structure overview, we're in the correct menu. Uh, click other CO area. Okay, here we are up top. Click other CO area and enter your controlling area. So I am NA26. I'm going to enter NA26. And we're going to click continue. And now it says in the change view allocation overview screen, highlight Z1. Z1 CP internal. Okay. Oh, I see. Z1 and then CP internal order semi-structure. So this whole row. And then once we have done that, we are going to double click assignments, which is right here. So once that's highlighted, just double click assignments, and it says you will receive a message that says one entry chosen, which is what we received down here. And in the change view assignments overview screen, which is where we're at, highlight the settlement primary cost element, which is the only thing we can highlight. So we're just going to click on that, and we're going to double click source. Double click source. And again, we got the same message down here. One entry chosen, so we're doing okay. So in the change view source details, we're in the correct menu screen, enter the following information. So I'm simply going to copy and paste this information to keep myself from making any errors. So it's from cost L to cost element. All right, so now that that has been entered, we're going to go ahead and click save. And we can see that our data was indeed saved. So you receive my data save. All right, so click back. And now we should be in the change view assignments overview screen, which we are. It says highlight 10, the only thing that's available, primary cost element row. And now we're going to double click the settlement cost element. So this last folder right here, settlement cost elements, double clicking. And it says you'll receive a message that says down here, no entries found that match section criteria. So that's okay. We're supposed to receive that message. In the change of view, oh, okay, up here, change view settlement of cost elements overview screen, click new entries. New entries is usually always up here up top. I'm gonna click new entries. So in the new entries overview of added entry screen, enter the following information. So we're going to, for receiver category, we're going to hit this little lookup menu, and we're going to find cost centers or cost center. There it is right there, cost center. So it's going to be CTR. Double click. There it is. And we want to make sure that by cost element is selected. So we're going to select that right there. And then it says once that is done, so it says click enter, but since there's no enter, we're just going to hit enter on our keyboard. And it says that we will receive a message that says one entry chosen, which we got down here. So Now that we got that message, we're simply going to go ahead and hit save, and we'll get the message that says data was saved. All right. Moving on, I'm going to open a new GUI and closing out the old one to move on to the next step. And you don't have to do that. You can just simply hit back, but I find that a lot easier. So the next step is view allocation structure, assessment data, and settlement data. All right. So I guess here we are just viewing stuff because it says be sure to use your display/change button so you do not change anything you see on the screen. So by hitting the display button, again, it just makes it so you can view the data and you can't change it. So let's follow this file path here. In this section, we're not actually going to change anything. We're just going to look at stuff to answer this question down here. So controlling internal orders, actual postings, settlement, and maintain allocation structures. So we're just gonna hit that clock first to go into the menu. And then once we're in this menu, this is that button that's talking about it's gonna go from change because right now we can actually make changes to display. So it's gonna gray everything out so we can't change anything now. As you can see, the save button when we change to and from disappears to ensure that you can't make any changes. So we're in the, yeah, even the title changes. So right now it's saying change, we can actually change stuff. We got the save, we click the glasses and it goes to display and we can no longer save things. So that just ensures that you can't change anything. Okay, so in the change view allocation overview, click other CO area. So we were in the change, but we changed it to display. So we're going to click on this other CO area. And so we're going to type in NA, says 00. Click hit enter to continue. Click the Z1 row, double click assignments. In the folder and dialog structure, in the display view assignments overview screen. Okay, so we're going to highlight number 10, double click cost settlements. Oh, well, this is the screen we're literally just in, and it's just saying what category, what is the receiver category. It's CTR or cost center, which we just did this. Yeah, CTR cost center. All right, so let's open up a new GUI to go to the new step, closing out the old menu. Now, so far, I haven't encountered any errors, but again, this error log, you can see that it has we're in chapter 3, it's only for chapter 3, and has a specific error log. I haven't encountered any of these just yet. Right now, we're on 2.6, which we haven't encountered any errors. And if you do encounter errors, you can just reference this error log. So we're in, oh wait, step 2.6 over. So we're not 1, 2, so we're in between here, but we haven't encountered any errors. Moving on, so to view settlement profile, again, this is just to view. We're not making any changes. S Pro implementation guide. Controlling internal orders, actual postings, settlement, maintain settlement profiles right here. Image activity. We're going to select maintain settlement profiles, double click to open it. Or you can click choose. Okay, so once we're in this menu here, we're going to highlight overhead costs. We're going to click details. And now we can just answer these questions here. So how are the actual costs settled? You can see that right there. What is the allocation structure used? Right here, allocation structure used. Uh, what is one other allocation structure that should be used? So what is one other allocation? Oh, that could be used. I guess. Not sure if it's one of these, but um, I'm sure we can find it in the screen somewhere. How many indicators? Indicators are right here. And how many receivers are allowed? Oh, valid receivers. So we can just go ahead and count those. But as far as other allocations, it might be I don't see any other allocations that are allowed, just the one. Well, that's how you can answer these questions. Looking at this screen here. All right, moving on to the next step. So we're going to open a new graphic interface. We're going to close the old one out. And I guess this one we're just answering more questions. So let's get back to PRO, image guide. Let's see, controlling internal orders, actual postings, settlement, automatic oh, generation of settlement rules down here, display strategies for automatic generation of settlement rules. Okay, it's this one right here. What is the sender type? All right, so we're just going to open that up. And then in the screen, we can answer these two questions. What is a sender type? And how many predefined strategies are there? So we should find these answers here. And all right, so it says click back after we have those answers. And it says enter the strategy sequence for automatic generation of settlement rules, which is this one right below it. Let's go ahead, enter there. What is the name for strategy SAP 030? We have that right there. Requesting cost centered 100% per and full. Let's see, in the display. So it's saying display. Oh, because it wants us to be in display. So we can just click that to go to display. But it's saying if we highlight SAP 030 row, double click strategies. Now we can answer this question. What is the first column? Right here. What is the second column? Title. Third column, fourth column, and fifth column title. All right, moving on to the next step. We're going to open a new graphic interface, close out the old one. And oh, so now we're going to be creating. So now we're actually going to be doing something with this data. So let's go ahead and PRO, follow this, get to the implementation guide. So let's follow this follow path, controlling internal orders, old master data, define order types. Okay, here we go. Define order types, no T code. It's not asking for T code. So let me click on this, define order types. So in the change view order types overview, select 100 company picnic right here. click copy as. So company picnic has been selected. Copy as is probably this little double. Yep. Clicking copy as. And in the change view order types, details of selected data, correct screen, enter the following information. So for order type, so we're simply making our own, copying this as our own company. So we are 26 is our number. So we're going to enter 26. You will enter your respective number. And for description, which is right next to it right here, it's going to be 26 company picnic. So the only thing we're changing is the last two numbers here and putting our number here. So remember to use your respective numbers. So once we have done that, picnic, click copy, which is down here. So we're going to go ahead and click copy. It says number of entries copied 1, which is what we got. So now in the change view order types overview screen, click save, and then we're going to get that message data was saved. All right, perfect. So we finished off rules and parameters. Moving on to master data. So we're just going to open up a new GUI. We're going to close out this old one. And we're going to start off with create standard hierarchy. All right, so actually we're using our original menu. So in the SAP Easy Access menu, which is, you can see the title right here. All right, we're going to go to accounting, controlling, cost center, accounting, master data, standard hierarchy, and change. Change is right here. So it says, what is a transaction code? You should be able to see the transaction code next to it here. If you do not see the transaction code next to it, that means that you missed a step in chapter 1. So go ahead and look through chapter 1 and see which step you missed to be able to see the transaction codes in the SAP Easy Access menu. So we're going to go ahead and double click change. And it'll bring us to make sure you are in your controlling area. NA and your number, I'm 26. If not, go to settings. So we can see right here that this is not my controlling area, which means that I need to go into my controlling area. So make sure whenever you see these little red red indications that we are following the instructions, because it is so important to do that. So because we're not in our controlling area, we're going to go to settings. So settings for this menu is only available if you are on this screen. If I was to go back, you can see that settings isn't part of that menu. So we have to be in this change menu. Let it load. And as you can see, that settings appeared up top. So we're simply going to click settings and set controlling area. Enter your controlling area. So we are NA26, and you're going to enter whatever is your controlling area there. But since I'm 26, I'm going to click 26 and I'm going to hit continue. All right. Now we can see that it is our cost center group here, and we can see NA26 here. All right. So let's see. Make sure you're controlling it. So now in the standard hierarchy for cost centers change screen, enter the following information. Name, description. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I got you right here. So it's already highlighted. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste so I don't make a mistake. So I'm just going to put 26 space. Okay, so yeah, so this is a description box here. So 26 GBI North America CC TR standard hierarchy. Once we've done that, we're going to right click I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Maybe not. So, so right click NA listener standard hierarchy. Okay, so right here. So we're going to right click and we're going to have this little menu pop up and click create group lower level, which is right here. Create group lower level. And it made this little menu right here. Create group lower level and enter the following information. So for group name, I'm just going to copy and paste because I do make mistakes. And 26 at the end. So NA10 and then your respective number. And then we're going to, for the short description, we're going to enter our number and corporate. So for the first part, again, just N10 and your number, I'm 26. And for the last part, your number and then corporate. And then once we have entered that information, we're going to click save. Click save to make change. Click save to make your changes take effect. And now we can see that the menu, or not the menu, our lower group that we created appears right here, right below NA26. So now we're going to right click corporate. Um, and create a lower group. So we're going to create another lower group. So as you can see right there, it branched down below. And now we are going to call this NA11 and then our respective number 26. And this is going to be the executive board lower group. So I'm going to highlight this 26 executive board. All right, and then we're going to click save to make sure our changes take effect. And you can see that now this will be populated with information we just entered. If you make a mistake in one of these, you can easily just delete it and make it again. Because I don't think you can change the name of this name is already locked in, so you can't change that after you hit save. I don't believe, unless yeah, I don't believe you can. I think it's just easier to hit delete and then just recreate it. It's a lot easier. So now that we've created the executive board, we're going to right click on executive board and then create. It says cost center. So, all right, so there's our cost center. So right click executive board, click create cost center. All right, so now we are going to, for cost center, I'm going to copy and paste this information right over, and we're going to enter our number, which is 26, and you'll enter your respective one. And now it looks like the name of that cost center is John Davis, but we got to put our number in front of it. So I'm going to put 26 and then John Davis. And then I'm going to go ahead and make this a little bit bigger so I can see all the information on one screen. And then the person responsible is also John Davis. So I went ahead and copied this. I'm just going to paste that right there. And for description, I'm going to go ahead and copy the description. So again, 26 NA executive John Davis. Category, we're going to go ahead and search that cost center category. It says administration. Administration looks like it's W. So we're just going to double click on administration and a W will populate down here. So let's just double check to make sure we have everything. We have the NXE, I copied and paste that, put my number at the end, 26 there. Then we got 26 John Davis, perfect. And then 26 NA executive John Davis for description. And then person responsible, again, our number 26 and John Davis. And then administration, which popped up as W. And remember, you are going to make sure that whenever I'm putting 26, but you're gonna again, put in your respective number. And now once we have that all filled out, we're going to click the indicators tab, which is right here. And we are going to deselect, oh, right here. We're going to deselect, um, yeah, commitment update. So we're just going to deselect that. So once we have deselected that, we're going to go ahead and save. And it says our data has been saved. So we can see that our information populated right here. So after we hit save, we're going to, again, click on N11 and our respective number. So we're 26. So right above John Davis, this one right here. And we're going to create another cost center. All right. So the cost center has been created. And now we have to enter this information. So again, I'm just going to copy and paste. And then add 26 at the end of that. And now Peter Weiss. 26. I'm going to select that because he's also the person responsible. So copy and pasting 26 Peter Weiss, the person responsible, 2 Weiss. And now we're going to enter the description. So 26. And then NA executive Peter Weiss. And then category is administration again. And if you guys remember, administration was W. So we just click on W. In case you forgot, you can just click that little search menu on the side and see right here, administration is W. If you feel more comfortable doing this way, you are more than welcome to double click on that. And we'll keep our W and then back to the indicators tab. Let's just double check, make sure everything's correct. Yep, looks good. And then indicators tab. And we are going to, again, deselect commitment update. And this is what we have right now. And we're going to hit save. So I guess we have a little red icon when it's being developed and it goes green once it has been successfully created. Now, if we see here, it says click change sequence move down. This will move down the cost center one position in the hierarchy. So what is this talking about is it wants to maintain numerical hierarchy. So it wants the 1 to be above the 26. So if we already have this selected, if we already have this selected, we'll just click on that. See this little down right here, change sequence move down. Now we maintain the hierarchy. So 1 comes first, then comes 2, and if we had 3, we'd put it below 3, 4, 5, and then it just keeps everything looking nice and a lot easier to find. So you can see that over here, this whoever created this was 02. But since I'm 26, I have my respective number, and again, you guys have yours. So I already hit save, right? Yeah, your data has been saved. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, because I changed it, so I had to save to make sure that this hierarchy was maintained. So you receive a message, your data has been saved. Perfect. So you may receive a warning message as shown below. In case of warning, click enter proceed. So if you receive this, let's see the result of cost center. So if you receive this message, you can just hit enter proceed to proceed. I did not receive any message. I actually haven't had any errors up to this point, which I'm on 3.1. I didn't have an error with this. Or 3.1. Oh wait, no. Oh, I guess I'm right here. You may get, okay, so let's just explain the same thing. Okay, yeah, I haven't had any errors as of yet. Um, Let me put that right there. Okay, so now that we have created that step, it says you have just created your corporate group within the standard hierarchy in the steps above. In Appendix A, which is the file that I showed you earlier, this guy right here, Appendix A. standard hierarchy. So an Appendix A contains data about all cost centers and groups used in the standard hierarchy at GBI. Use the data in Appendix A to create the rest of the standard hierarchy using the steps above as a guide. So I'm just gonna, um, so we can use these steps as a guide. So I'm just gonna bring this up here. Let me see. I think it's easier if I just put that there. And then I'm just going to put that there. All right. So now we are going to, okay, so this is our guide. Okay, awesome. So now that we have completed these steps, we're gonna finish inputting this hierarchy here. So the way that we can see this hierarchy is, so first off, here's our NA and our, since we're NA26, so we can see that right here. That's, if we just kind of collapse all these, that's NA. And then right below, we're gonna have, we already started making N10 26, and then right below that, we created, as you can see right here, N1126, and under N1126, we created these two cost center structures, the uh, John Davis and Peter Weiss. So we thus far, I'm just gonna bold it so I know where I'm at. Let me center that and move this a little bit over so it doesn't keep doing that each time I hit bold. All right, so we have to create everything else for the bottom. So one thing I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and put my number here because I think this is a lot easier in just inputting your number here than copying it over and then doing it over here. So that's something I'm gonna do. So keep in mind, this is still the pound sign or a hashtag sign. Um, I'm gonna input my number here, but don't get confused with that. If you want to go ahead and do that, I think that's a lot easier instead of, copying this over here and then changing it there. So I'm simply gonna put my number here. Any part that I see the pound sign or hashtag sign, I'm just gonna put my number because I think it's a lot easier doing it like this than um, doing it in the other screen. Actually, instead of doing every single line by line, what we can do is hit Control F on your keyboard. No, Control F. We're gonna have this little pop-up menu that says find and replace. We're gonna go to replace, and we're gonna put the pound sign or hashtag sign with our respective number. So that's gonna replace every single little pound sign with our respective number, and it's just gonna make it easier. And then once we have done that, so just put the pound sign in and then replace with our number, you hit replace all. And it replaced 110 locations for us. So I'm gonna hit OK. I'm gonna close that. So again, that's Control F to get to that menu. Hit replace, and then yeah, just put what you want to find and what you want to replace it with. So now that we did it, I'm just gonna double check to make sure everything's fine. And it looks like it is, because if I just hit Control Z, yeah. nothing else changed. All right, so now that we have done that, it's going to make it super easy to just to copy and paste these cells. And I kind of like having Excel versus downloading this file as a PDF, because a PDF you can't do that. As a Word document, I'm not sure if you can do that, but with Excel you can. So, all right, now that we have done that, we understand the hierarchy. So we have 2, 6, 2, 2. Okay, so what's the next step? So we're going to create this one here, and it's going to be a step down from 1, 1 or 1026. So let's minimize that. So it's going to be a hierarchy from this one here. So 1026 has 2 below it. So we're going to right click and then we're going to create a lower cost group. So this lower cost group is coming right here, right? This guy right here. Control C, copy and paste the group name. And then we're going to copy and paste the description. Then we're going to hit save. All right. And now in order to get it looking like this, we're going to lower this group so that we maintain that hierarchy. So we want to make sure that 1's above and 2's below. So that's just these little menus up and down. So we can see that now we have 1126 above and, excuse me, yeah, 1126 above and 1226 below. And now once we have this here, so whenever we see this group name, group name, group name, so if it's here and we want to go here, we got to create a lower group name. But if we're already here, when I come here, we're going to create a cost center. So I'm going to go ahead and bold that since that one's done. And since we already did this step right here, the group name, this one right here needs to be a cost center. So 1226, we're going to right click and then create a cost center. And we're simply going to copy and paste. And if you still have if you still have the pound sign, then you are going to have to, or the hashtag sign, you are going to have to put your numbers in here unless you did what I did earlier. But in that case, if you did what I did, we're just simply copy and pasting. This one goes on the description, person responsible, and then cost for cost center category, it says service cost center H. So we're just going to look for that. Oh, actually, we could have just put an H since it's telling us what it is. So right here, service cost center H. Gotcha. Okay, and then so let's just double check we have everything correct. So we got the N0126, yep, 26 internal services and description 26 internal 26 N8 internal service, and then the person responsible 26 NA internal service manager. Okay, and then H down here, and then we're going to go over indicators and deselect. All right, so now that that is done, we're going to hit save. And that is a whole lot faster than having to change, copy and paste, and then change the number over here. We can just mass change and just copy and paste. So it looks like we have finished everything under group name N1, N10, and then our respective number. So as we can see, N10 right here, and under N11 and our respective number, we have the two names, John followed by John Davis followed by Peter Weiss. And then we can see also under N112 our respective number, we have or excuse me, this is under this one here. Yeah, because we minimize that, yeah. You can see that these two here are under this one, and then once we have this guy here, we have the NA internal services. All right, so that is complete. So I'm just going to minimize all these to make it easier to read. All right, so now we're going to focus on this section here, and this section is going to be a lower group to NA26. So we're going to simply click on NA26, going to right click and then create a lower group. All right, so here it was created. Now we're simply going to copy and paste our information. And remember, you should have your own number here. Instead of 26, you should have your respective number, but I showed you guys what I did earlier. Anyway, so now that I've copy and pasted that over, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And now we can see our hierarchy is a little bit ordered because we have 2 above 1. So we're just going to simply click that down arrow to make sure that this matches this over here. So we have uh, our N10 above our N20. All right, so now we're simply going to fold this so we know it's complete. And see here, we create this group name, and now we need to create another group name, but it's going to be a lower group name. So we're going to click on N20 with our respective number, and we're going to create a lower group. So now that we're going to go ahead and do this group right here. So we're going to go ahead and hit copy. I'm going to paste that there, and then copy again and paste that information there. And once we have created that lower number, let's go ahead and bold that. And now we are going to create a cost center underneath N21 and our respective numbers. So we're going to right click on that, create cost center. And again, we're just going to go ahead and copy the data. Responsible. It says administration is W, and then we're going to deselect the indicator. So just double checking I got everything correct. Yep, and then deselecting commitment update. All right, and then once that's done, we're going to hit save. And we're just going to bold this here so we know that it's done. Okay, so now that we have created that, that's all we need under NA26. So I'm just going to minimize that so we can see that under N, as you can see, N20 in our respective number, we have our first NA21, and we need to create N22 and our respective number. So underneath N20 our respective number. So that's going to be up here. This is N20. So we're going to create a lower group there. And we're going to go ahead and copy and paste this data. All right. So again, our hierarchy is a little out of order. So we're just going to hit this down arrow here to make sure that 1 comes first, followed by 2. So now that we have created this cost center, group name, now we need to create 3 cost centers underneath N22 and our respective number. So we're simply going to click on the N22, and then I'm going to create a cost center. That'll bring us to this screen here, and we're just going to do the first one and continue on. So we're just going to paste that there. And now it says administration needs to be W, and deselecting the indicator. Everything looks correct, and deselecting that commitment update. And we're going to save. All right, so that's our first cost center. I'm just going to bold out this line, make sure I know I did it. And now underneath, we're going to create another cost center underneath 2.6. So let's go ahead and deselect that. So underneath, excuse me, not 2.6, Underneath N22, we're just gonna right click and create another cost center. And now we are simply going to copy and paste this information over for the new cost center. And now it says our resource is gonna be R. So we can see because in the parentheses it says R, or you can just search it up and put it in there. And then go over here to indicators and deselect commitment update. And we're just gonna double check our data, make sure it's correct. Fair trade resources, and then all right, looks good. So we're gonna hit save. Then again, to maintain the hierarchy, says it was saved, perfect. We're just gonna click down so that one is first and then followed by two. So now that we have created this guy here, we're gonna create this third cost center underneath N22 in our respective numbers. So we're gonna go back up here to N22 and we're gonna create another cost center. And again, we're gonna go ahead and copy and paste our data. And again, this is also R. And then deselect indicator, deselected. So let's see, just double checking. 30 HR recruiting, human resource, recruiting, person responsible, and the HR manager. All right, looks good. Gonna hit save. So, and again, since this is above, we want to make sure we keep that hierarchy and drop it down to its correct level. So we're going to bold this out. So we should have three cost centers underneath 2.6. So if we kind of expand it, um, underneath N20, as we see here, we're going to have, so far we have, underneath N20, we have so far N21 and N22, but now we need to create N23 as we see here. So we're going to click on our N20 and our respective number. We're going to right click there and just going to create a lower group. And now we're going to copy this information here. All right, and then once we have copied that information, we're going to hit save. And we can see that it populated here, and we're just going to push that down 2 times so that it's in order. So we got 21, 26. Yeah, so we got 21, 22, and 23. All right, so now that that is done, we're going to go ahead and bold that line. And we're going to create a cost center underneath this, our N23. So create cost center. So now that we're at this location on the screen, we can just go ahead and simply copy and paste our information once again. And for administration, it's W. All right, 26, something. And again, deselecting our indicator. Oh, or commitment update. And then gonna hit save. Perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and minimize that now. So if we take a look at our hierarchy, we can see that so far we have um, our main uh, hierarchy group name 26, and we click that down, we should have our N10 followed by our N20. And let me go ahead and bold this out since we've finished that. And now we need to create our N30 subgroup. So if we click on our our main one, I'm N26, but it's going to be whatever your number is, your cost center, going to right click, and then we're going to create a lower cost group. And that's going to be our next one down the list. It's going to be our N30 we're going to be creating. We're just going to copy and paste that information. This is marketing and sales now. All right, so we're going to hit save. And our N30 is above the rest. So in order to maintain our hierarchy, we're just going to push it down. So it goes 10, 20, and 30. Let's go ahead and bold that out. And so now underneath N30, we're going to create 3 group names. And looks like each one has 1 cost center per group name. So we're just going to go in order. So we're going to create a lower group under N30. All right, and we're just going to go ahead and copy our information right over. And then, so N31 is going to be marketing. Hit save. And now let's bold this. And now under N31, we're going to create a cost center, which is going to be our our marketing costs. Let's go ahead and copy everything over. And that's going to be V for sales. So let me just double check I have everything correct. We got 10, marketing, any marketing cost, 26 marketing manager, V for sales, and deselecting commitment update, and hit save. And again, we're going to bold this out and continue to the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this. There we go. So another one under N, we're going to create another group name under N30. So we're going to click on N30 and create a lower group. And we're going to go ahead and copy this information over. All right, and this is going to be sales. So create that group and they're going to push it down so it's in order. So we got N31 up top and now N32 right below it. Did I save that? Okay. Let's go ahead and bold this. And now we're going to create a cost center. So right click, create cost center, and copy the information right over. And this is going to be social. So we're going to put an S here. So double checking, 1026, cost sales, NA cost sales, NA sales manager, S and indicators, deselecting the indicator for commitment update and clicking save. So that's done. Let's bold that line out. And we can see that's done there. We're gonna shrink that hierarchy tree. So now that that's done, we are going to create another one under our N30. It's going to be our N33. So we're going to click on right click on N30 and create a new lower group. And we're going to go ahead and copy our information over. And then once we have that, it is our global sales. We're going to click save. And then we're going to push this down our N33. We're going to push it down twice. So it's in order from 31, 30. There we go. 31, 32, and 33. So we push it down. Let's go ahead and bold this out. And now we're going to create a cost center underneath our N33. And let's go ahead and copy our information over. Something went wrong. There we go. And again, this is going to be S for socials. Double checking. And S, and now indicators, deselecting the commitment update once again. Saving it, data has been saved. Gonna minimize that. All right. Bolding that. And now we can see that underneath our N30, right here, we should have 31, 32, and 33, which we do, 31, 32, and 33 in order. And then if we open these guys up, they all have one cost center underneath them. So marketing costs and sales, sales costs, and global sales costs. So let's go ahead and shrink those again. Deselect that. So now that we have finished our N30, we're going to go ahead and move on to our N40. And N40 is going to be, again, underneath our cost center, N26, and it's going to be your respective number. It's going to be this top one up here once again. So we're going to right click on it and create a lower group. So once that lower group has been created, we're going to go ahead and copy this information here for N40. And N40 is going to be operation. So once we have that complete, let's go ahead and hit save. And let's push N40 down to the bottom so that we maintain our hierarchy order. So it goes 10, 20, 30, and 40. All right, so now that that's done, let's bold out this line. And now we're going to create our first lower group underneath N40. So right click on N40, create lower group. And let's go ahead and copy over N41, which is going to be our research and development. So N41, research development, we're going to hit save. Bam, here we go. Fold out the line so we know where we're at. And we're going to create our first cost center, NARD 10. So let's see, create cost center. And let's just copy and paste our information right over. R&D costs. So let's see, R&D costs, research costs, and manager, and this is going to be production. So production for us is going to be F for cost center category. And again, we are going to deselect the commitment update and, oh, no, did I accidentally click that? I'm gonna hit save for now. Let me check out another cost center. Looks like I accidentally did hit record quality here, so I'm gonna uncheck that and save because none of my other cost centers had that. All right. Okay. So now that we successfully, let me just double check to make sure this cost center is correct. I want to say yes. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and create our next lower group underneath 2.6, which is going to be 4.2. Excuse me, our next lower group underneath N40, which is going to be 4.2. So create lower group. And let me bold this out. All right, so it's going to be production. Our N42 is production. So hit save. Let's bump it down one. So it's an order. Bold this. And now we're going to have two cost centers underneath N42. So our first right click, create cost center. Let's go ahead and copy this information over. Production is F. Let me double check, 2.6. Production cost, NA productions, NA production manager, F. Then indicators. Oh, record quality was checked for F. Huh. So we're gonna deselect commitment update and hit save. So that means I need to go back. That means I need to go back to this guy here because this guy had it on. In N1126. So research and development should have that on. Okay, now that we've finished our first cost center underneath 2.6, this guy right here, we need to create our second cost center underneath 2.6. Now right click on 2.6, create another cost center, and simply copy over the information. And production is going to be F. So this is going to be our loss. And for the first time, we are going to leave our commitment update on. So want to make sure that that one stays selected, and we're going to hit save. Let's bold out this line here. and we're going to push it down. So it's in order 10 to 20. So we're going to minimize that because now we're going to go ahead and create N43 underneath N40. So N40 is up here, right click, lower name, create lower group. And we're going to go ahead and copy this information. So plant maintenance, hit save, pull that out. And now we're going to create our cost center under, oh, first let's push this down. So it's in order and create cost center and copy over that information. And management is L. So let's see, plant maintenance, any plant maintenance, plant manager, L. Indicator is going to be deselected. And we're going to go ahead and hit save. Let's bold this out. And now we're going to create another lower group on N40. So create lower group, and this is going to be N44. Which is our quality management. And now let's go ahead and push it, the 44 down to the bottom. So we have 41, 42, 43, and 44. Let's bold this line out and create our first cost center underneath 44. All right. And let's go ahead and copy over that information. And production is F. All right, so double checking, quality cost management, and quality cost management, and F at production is F, and we're going to deselect that indicator and hit save. And let's bold out this line. And another lower group underneath 40. Let's go ahead and minimize that. So underneath 40, we're going to create N45. So create lower group. And let's go ahead and copy this information over again. And this is going to be our service management. So let's go ahead and save. And let's push 45 down. So we got 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. There we go. So, and now we're going to create our cost center. Let's bold that. We're going to create a cost center underneath 45. Right click, cost center. And just putting in our information. And for service cost center, it's going to be H. So double checking. Cost of content, service manager, and H. And now, again, for our indicators, we're going to make sure that commitment update stays selected. So that looks good. It's going to stay selected. And now we're simply going to hit save. So data saved, and now we're going to minimize this, and we should have 41. All right, so we're going to minimize that. And now we're going to create our last, hold that, we're going to create our last group underneath our main cost center. It's going to be N50. So on the top one, create a lower, and then just going to copy this information, our N50. And that's going to be our information technology. Click save. And we're going to push it down all the way to the bottom. So it stays in order, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And once that has been created, it seems like we're not going to create a lower group. We're just going to create a cost center. All right, so now that we created N50, we're simply going to create a cost center underneath N50. So let me see. So I got 026, 26 IT costs, description, 26 IT costs, 26 global IT manager, service is going to be H, and indicators are going to be commitment update, deselected, save. Okay, so now that we have finished with all of this, I went ahead and left it as is. I undid the changes so you can see where your number should be as well. But as we can see, if we just minimize everything, we can see on this side, group name, it's just going to be the first one. Then if we drop this many down, we'll have our N 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And if we open up our N20, we're going to have N11 and 12. And if we open 11, we're going to have our two people, John and Weiss. If we open our 12, we'll just have our single cost center, internal services. And now for N20, if we open up N20, we'll have the three. We'll have 21, 22, and 23. And then if we open this, we should have one cost center, our NA administrative cost. If we open 22, we should have three, our human resources, fair trading, and human resources recruiting. And under 23, we should just have one, the NA procurement. And if we open up N30, we should see that we should have 31, 32, and 33. Underneath 31, should we just have one, marketing, and then open up 32 again, Looks like we should have one, and then under 33, again, we should just have one, which is a global sales cost. And then if we go ahead and open up 40, we should see that we're going to have 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. And you go ahead, open these guys up. We're going to have one for 41. Open at 42, we should have the two, 10 and 20. Open up 43, we should have the single, and same for the rest. 44 and 45. And last but not least, for N50, we're just going to have that single cost center underneath. So this is how your hierarchy tree should look once you have added everything in and arranged it in order. I'm just going to go ahead and minimize all of this. But that is how it should look once you have finished your Appendix A cost center accounting. All right, so now that we have finished this cost center, we can go ahead and minimize this. We're not going to need that, and we're going to go back to our continue chapter 3. So we were right here. So we finished the Appendix A, right? And now we are going to go on to the next step. So after you're done with this, just make sure to save it in case you made any changes to your hierarchy. Just go ahead and save. You can see data has been saved. Perfect. So once data has been saved, we are going to go ahead and open up a new GUI. I'm going to close out the old one. And we're going to follow this file path. All right, so where are we at? SPRO. Customize. All right, so let's go to controlling cost center element accounting. Oh no, hold on. Cost element accounting. Oh yeah, here we go. Master data, cost element, create cost element. So it's asking for the T code, image activity, and there we are. So let's go ahead and open that up. So in the select activity menu, double click the create primary cost element, which is going to be the top one. Double click on that. It's going to bring us to the edit GL centrally screen. So we're going to go ahead and enter information. For some reason, my information was already populated in here. If not, just go ahead and hit copy and paste, and then use your global bike. Since I'm 2.6, I'm going to keep that one. We're going to click display, which is the glasses right here. And it's just asking us what type of GL account it is. So right here, and what is the accounting group, which is right here. Double hit the control tab. What does category element 1 mean? So let's see, where would we find that? And it says in the control data tab, what does CLEM category 1 represent? I'm not, oh, maybe I have to scroll down. Here we go. We just got to scroll down. So there we go. That's our answer right here. All right, perfect. So moving on to the next step, going to open up a new GUI, closing out the old one. All right, so let's follow this file path. Controlling cost element accounting, master data, cost element, create cost element. It's asking for T code. That's our T code, create cost element. All right, let's go ahead and go into this folder. In the select activity menu, select create secondary cost element, which is the last one. In the edit GL centrally, click the glasses, or hold on. Okay, yeah, so we want to click the glasses, so it changes to display only. We're gonna enter, kind of copy and paste this over. And then our gold bikes ink, which is selected. And then enter. Yeah, just hit enter. And now we can answer this information. So GL type, account, and then over here for the controlling information is going to be this is going to be down here. And in order to get this information, just click on that. So now you can see what 43 and 42 mean. And the last one, create bank interest over here. What is the field status group? And that's that right there. All right. So now to create cost element group section, open up a new GUI, closing this old one out. And again, following this file path. So as pro, let's get into implementation guide. So controlling, cost element accounting, master data, cost elements, and create cost element groups. So it wants a T code. There's that T code. Create cost elements groups. We're going to go into the data or into the to the file. In the select activity, we're going to select create cost element, which is the second one. Oh no, wait, create cost element. I might be in the wrong one. Create cost element groups. It's the second one. So it's going to be this one right here. Create cost element groups. So in the create cost element groups, click the little clock to enter the data. There we go. Select activity, double click on the create cost element. So yeah, create cost element group, which is the first one. Double click to open it. Double click. There we go. And enter the following information. So in the cost element group, we're going to put NA10 and our number. So we are 26. So we're going to put our number there. Make sure to type in your information because we're actually creating the cost element group. So NA10 and your respective number. And then click and then click enter. Or just put enter on your keyboard. And then in the create cost element group structure screen, enter the following data. So for attribute, we're gonna just copy and put our number and then our NA cost element total. And now we're gonna click this lower level. Click insert lower level and enter the following information. So I'm gonna copy this over and put our number at the end. And again, with copying this over. All right, and now it says click insert cost element. Okay, insert cost element. So now that we've input that data, insert cost element, and we're gonna enter the following. So it says your labor allocation. So maybe this little side, and we're just going to start search. Actually, an important thing whenever you do the search is that you make sure that your number is here. Since I'm GL26, I'm going to make sure that that's my number. You make sure that your number is there. If it's not, make sure that you put your number in there because that's going to ensure that it's all your business's information. So now we are looking for labor allocation. So that's labor, but want labor allocation. Oh, here we go. Labor allocation. So it looks like it's gonna be like what? 800,000 for the code. So double click labor allocation and to value, we're gonna copy this value over. And it says, if account 8,000 labor does not exist, use T code. Okay, so if this labor allocation does not exist, you can use this T code. Put GL 8,000 company code to create template. So if it doesn't exist, you can follow these steps to create it. Okay. Change GL account type. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I don't think I need to do this. I don't think we need to do this since it worked out for us. But if it didn't work out for you, you can follow these steps. After we've input this menu, we're going to go ahead and hit save. All right. And now it says click on NA and your number. Oh, this top one right here. NA10 and your number. And click on lower level. Click on insert cost element group on lower level. All right, so we're going to click that and enter the following information. I'm going to copy and paste, copy, and then add our number at the end. And then same thing with this. And now, once we have that, it says click on insert cost element, which is it right up here. Insert cost element, and we're going to enter the following number. So we're just going to copy and paste these numbers over. And click save. Saves have been made. It says click save twice. Change that have been saved. Well, I click save. The viewer see message says changes have been saved. Yep. I mean, clicks. I think you only have to click once, but I mean, worked out for us. All right. So now that that step is done, we're going to follow the next step, create copy center cost center. So new GUI, close out the old one. So this is going to be the SAP Easy Access menu. So we're going to go here to accounting, controlling, cost center, accounting, master data, individual. Where's it at? Lower? Oh, 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 here it is, cost center. Oh, I didn't click on cost center, individual processing and create. So it wants a T code. Here it is. If you can't see the T code, then you need to go back and refer to chapter 1 so you can see the T codes. So we're going to double click create. So we're just going to copy this over. And put our number at the end. And a CC1026. that's a different one, so I'm not going to select that since we're creating it. So NACC1026, valid from first day of the current year. So we're simply going to scroll up to January. I'm going to select the first. Remember, this is the number of weeks, so you can't actually select these. You have to actually select the 1st of January. So 11010126, or you can just simply input that information there to 12/31/999. So once we have this information here, we're going to click enter or push enter on our keyboard. That's going to open up this menu down below. So in the create cost center basic screen, and we're going to enter this information. Don't forget your number. Copy center. So this is the same name and description. For person responsible, it's going to be our 26 copy center manager. Cost category, we're going to have to search that. Cost category, service cost center, right here. Service cost center, it's going to be H. And hierarchy, it says internal services, so we're going to search. Internal services right here. And 1126. Double click on internal services. And currency is going to be USD. And you can just simply click on United States dollar. So we got copies, 26 copy center, 26 copy center, 26 copy center manager, correct, internal services, USD. Okay, and then once we have all that information in, we're gonna hit enter in our keyboard. Click through the warning signs that says profit center accounting active but not specified. So I guess I'm just gonna keep hitting enter. I'm not getting any of that information. I'm just going to save them because that's the next center. I got cost center has been created. Click through the warning profit center. I didn't get that. Let me look at the errors. 3.5. I did. Not sure, but I did. Cost center has been created. I did get this information here. Cost center has been created, so I should be okay. And going down to the next activity. So we're just going to open up a new GUI, close out the old one, and we're just going to follow this menu. Accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, activity type. After master data, do I keep going down? Huh, maybe I messed something up. So let's start over. Counting, controlling, cost center accounting, master data. I must have misclicked something. Activity type, individual processing, and create. So it's asking for the T code. It's right there. So double click create. All right, so we just double click create and we got to this menu. So now it wants us to open a new GUI. And now it wants us to follow this file path. So accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, master records, GL accounts, individual processing, and centrally. So T code, you can see it there. So we're going to enter centrally. So in the edit GL accounts centrally screen, so in this screen here, we're going to enter this information. So copy paste, make sure it's your global bike ink, which it is, and we're going to go ahead and hit create. And after that, so we're going to simply search secondary costs, accounting group, secondary costs, and then we're going to name this what is it? Short text right here. So 26 IT programming for short text, and long text is going to be this right here. 26 IT programming allocation. Okay, so now that we have secondary sync cost, all right, we have that there. Now we're going to click on the control tab. USD is already selected. Posting period without tax is allowed, needs to be checked off. Sort key, let's scroll down. Sort key right here needs to be posting date. So let's search. There it is. Posting date is going to be 001. There we go. And CLEM or CL category needs to be 43. Internal activity allocation. So 43 is internal activity allocation. Double click it, or we can just put 43 in category. After that, we're going to go create bake / interest tab. In the field status group, we're going to look for secondary cost / revenue. Secondary cost / revenue right there. Double click that. And we're going to click save. We're going to receive a message that says data was saved. All right, in the create activity initial screen, I think that's, that was our other GUI. So this is, was it? Yeah, I think that was our other GUI. Accidentally clicked on the other one. But yeah, I think that's our other GUI we had open. So it says in the create, yeah, because this is the one we just saved right here. And the other GUI we had open that we didn't do anything with yet is this one. And that's where it's saying in the create activity type initial screen, enter the following information. So for activity type, it's going to be this right here, copy, and then first day of the year has already been selected. So the last day has already been selected. So once we did that, we're just going to simply click enter. And we're going to follow this. In the create activity basic screen, enter the following information. So name, 26, enter your respective number. Unit activity. So it's important to make sure that you select hour and not hours, because I guess they're two different. Yeah, so hour is capital H. I think hours is lowercase h. So just make sure it is the uppercase H hour. And then for Cost center categories, I believe. It says all cost center create. That's going to be the top one. All cost centers create. It's going to be a little star. All right. And now let's keep scrolling down. In the A type category, let's search manual entry, manual allocation. So that's going to be our top one. Manual entry, manual allocation. It's going to be number one. Let's keep scrolling down. Allocation, cost element is going to be our IT programming. So whenever we hit search, right here, 26 IT program. It's going to be whatever your number is. But since I'm 26, it's going to be 26 IT programming for me. Oh, is that the right code? Oh yeah, 9,000 or 900, 200. Yeah, IT program. Yep, that's correct. Keep scrolling down. And for price indicator, plan price automatically. Um, plan price automatically based on activity, which is going to be a top one. So double click. And it was one. And then, yeah, make sure it's hour and not hours is HR. And then click save. So after all that's in, after we input all the information, click save. And it says activity type has been created. Perfect. So, yeah, so activity type has been created. Yep, we got that information. And looks like that is going to be where we stop. So this is going to be the end of chapter 3, part 1. I hope you found this video helpful, and we will continue on chapter 3, part 2 shortly.